just the go-to guy. So, hey, what's up YouTube? It's Andrew from Oakos here with my BMW E46. It's a 325i we're gonna use on this channel to make as our kind of budget drift build. And today it's all about the suspension. You could see the ride height on this thing is monster trucking for sure. I mean, I could fit more than my foot in here, so that needs to go. We got some ST coilovers, which are made by KW here. You can see just the quality of these is pretty damn good with the zinc coating. And then we got, to complement them, some Project Silver top hats from Poland. You can get any other top hats you want, but they are really pricey if you get some brand name ones. These are decent. They have good welds and stuff. We'll test them out, but the Polish guys, they know what they're doing with E46s, E36s, so why not give it a shot, right? And yeah, let's get to installing these and setting the preload and everything correctly. Unlike a lot of the coilover companies out there that send you stuff, they tell you it's ready to be dropped in the car, it's preloaded, and no, it's not. So let's do that and let's get to it. Yeah, so see guys, Nolan's not too comfortable yet with BMW stuff, but he's gonna get there. I mean, he's gonna be helping me on this car, you know, and he'll get there, right, Nolan?
First, remove the 15mm nuts on the end links, and then you'll remove the 18mm bolt for the collar holding in the strut, and then you'll hammer it out of there.
All right, so we got out the stock strut. Looks like it's the same design as a Honda Civic for E46. Yep, and it's weird because the E36 has the standard, you know, it's got the bolts on the actual strut on the bottom that bolt to the knuckle, and the E46 M3 has that style too, but the regular E46 came with this. Nolan's also out of his domain with this thing right here. You know, I don't think Nolan ever thought he'd be using a DeWalt, but he is today, boy. All right, so we got the stock strut out. You can see this is the top hat that comes OEM. It just spins and it's like all metal. It's about, you know, it's pretty thick and tall. So that's why you do have to run the top hats that come with the extension on the bottom. They do sell top hats that don't have this extension, and that's not gonna work with these type of coils or coilovers that are meant for the stock OEM style top hat. So that's why we're doing the Project Silver ones. Yeah, the best Polish merchandise you can get, baby, okay? All right, run these on your E46 or E36
right
now. All right, so we have another washer. You're supposed to take this off of your stock OEM strut top, but we had a washer laying around that would work, so let's try to see if it works.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, you're good.
So yeah, you guys can see that definitely is a two-person job.
See now.
Yeah, now it doesn't.
Get one of those pass-through sockets.
Yeah, and you guys can see that's the Project Silver top hat installed on the ST coilovers. Thanks to Nolan. Yep.
Bam! Bam! That's that camera game. Hey, you know what? If we snap these
Who else, man? Bailey.
Jesus Christ. That's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
All right, so here's the struts side by side. You can see that there is a pretty decent length difference. So I am thinking that those right there are off the all-wheel drive version of this car. So
So installing the new coilover is the same as removing the OEM strut. You just have to tighten the 13 millimeter bolts on the top of the strut hat. And then you need to pay attention, make sure you grease the collar. And you can see the slot in the collar there. That's where the tabs on the back of the strut go. So just twist the strut around until they line up with that slot in the collar and push it through and it should go up. Then just tighten the 18 millimeter bolt. And then you can start to install the end links by removing them from the sway bar completely and then installing the supplied ones that come with the ST coilovers. So next, you will remove the rear shock bolts, which are 18 millimeters. Then you can remove the rear springs from the perches, and then take the 13 millimeter nuts off in the trunk area of the strut mounts. You might have to remove your interior, and then they'll drop right out, allowing you to install the new spring, which you want to make sure that the collars for the adjustment go on the top of them.
Yep. All right, so it is the next day. You know, Nolan's wearing different clothes, I'm wearing different clothes. So we decided not to run the OEM shock mount. It's literally just trash. The other one didn't have the washer or the bushing. It's so we got new ones from AutoZone here. We'll see how they do. Comes with a little gasket. We did test a little bit. We did drop the front and we saw that the ride height needed to be lowered a little bit. So we're gonna show you guys how to lower the ride height with these nylon collars, which are the best design you can get. So yeah.
The best design, the best.
So to install the rear shock mount, you're gonna screw the nut on and then make sure you have a pair of channel locks and a wrench or a ratcheting wrench. That way you can hold it in and then tighten it down. Installing it's just like removing it, just slip it up into the area. Ours did have a little bit of an issue. I don't know if they were just the wrong shock mounts or if the car is a little bit weird, but they were not going in perfectly, so we did have to kind of finesse them in.
But it's mainly because Nolan had to get the old one out, he had to kind of pry at it.
Once those are tight, it's very simple. You just line up the rear bolt again with the knuckle and use the supplied washer on the outside to install it back on.
All right, so basically how you adjust these nylon collars is there's a little 2 millimeter Allen key. Here, move your hand. And it goes right in the Allen little bolt right there. You just need the little key. And then you loosen that, and then that'll allow the bottom collar to actually move there. And then all you do is adjust the bottom collar. That's down, I'm down for that. All right, and as long as you undid the little Allen on the collar, it will spin freely very nicely too, because it's nylon, it's not gonna seize on you. It's the same nylon collars they put on the KWs. The main difference between the STX coilovers and the KW V1s is basically just the stainless steel body on the KWs, which hold up to the weather better than obviously just a zinc coated steel body. So yep, he's getting it all adjusted. We decided with about 1.2 millimeters from the bottom bracket that we see here. We're gonna do that on both sides. It leaves us about 3 to 4 threads, or maybe 4 to 5 threads remaining of adjustability. So we'll see how it looks. Yep, he's just tightening up the Allen so the collar won't move on us, and we'll be all set with this side. Yeah. All right, so she's all adjusted up. And let's see how she looks on the ground. All right, so something about the rear diff, we did weld it, but we had quite the mishap with it. with the stock axle flanges and all that. So right now you'll see that clip.
I got the diff, it was a 3.46 ratio. We cleaned it out, we got the plates ready to be welded in. I had my boss weld it first, and then I had another person come to finish the welds with the plates. But in this whole thing, I did not take out the axle flanges, so those flanges ended up being welded in shut. And then when my friend Juan ended up removing the diff when we went to his house that day, we noticed that the flanges were different, and we tried everything we could to get those welded flanges out, but they would not come out. So unfortunately, we could not use the diff, but we did take the stock 3.15 diff to Juan's shop. He welded it up, and then we got it reinstalled.
So now we're gonna go to Juan's shop and take the original 315. It's still gonna be kind of shitty, and just weld it for now, and then hopefully I can get another one. And I should have been. All right, so the diff's all welded up. We're putting the gasket back on. Yeah, so hopefully all goes well, and we'll see you when the diff is back in the car.
I mean, they're pretty correct.
That torque stick, baby.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Oh. All right, so no one's putting the ramps down because now it definitely will be lower than the lift will allow. Let's see. Nice. Oh yeah. All right guys, so that's the install on the Drift E46 for Oakos. We used the STX coilovers, which are equivalent to the KWV1s. You could see the fitment's way better. Before when we lowered it, it had a little more than 2 fingers, maybe 3 or 4. Now you got a 2-finger gap there. That's pretty good. Looks good with the NT03RRs. So yeah, that's basically how you're gonna install any coilover setup on an E46 as well, with the Silver Project top hats. We'll see how those do since they are, you know, not really name brand. But anyway, if you like the video, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell, and you know what, let's go do some donuts. So that's the Drift E46 from Oakos. You can see here it's gutted. It's a lot of fun. We got the new coils on. We got the welded diff in. Next thing, who knows, but we're gonna take it to a drift event. So we'll see you in the next one.